All right. Hey, everyone. This is a quick video, hopefully quick, where I'll sort of give a demonstration of a new feature coming in. It's basically dynamic submix sending using AudioVolumes. And the idea is that it works kind of like ambient zones, where you have sounds inside a volume, sounds outside a volume, and different states for like where the listener is, which volume the listener's in. But yeah, so here I have the third person template. It's basically a fresh project. I've just deleted all the sort of stairs and stuff that was in the room, so it's just like a little blank space to run around in. And then, as always, I have Jeff Ball's viola solo here, which you can download in the Spatial Audio Temple sample project. And then I have a couple of impulses. I have a sort of big impulse, and then sort of like a smaller room impulse to kind of give as an example. Okay, so let's create some places for testing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay down some cubes here. Let's do this. Boop, boop, boop. Make it very slim. And then something like that. And these will just be our like these will be like our reverb volume areas, zones or whatever. Just so we can visualize them nicely. And we'll go with so we got an audio volume. We'll drop that in, and then I'll do a little quick, like, get it about that size-ish. Eyeballing the sizing. Boop. Okay. Neat. All right. So, and then I'll select both of them, hold Alt, and then just create a couple of these. We'll start out with a couple. All right, let's save it, and then I'll color them different. Let's give this one green, and we'll give this one red. Okay, and then I will create a classic ball with which I can move around. So we'll get a little sphere. We'll put that up here. And then I'll add the viola solo to it as an audio component. And I think I made this looping already. Yes, cool. And oh, and then we'll take the ball and we will simulate physics. And then we'll just see how that works. Because I just want basically to be able to, if the ball can go over, you can make it over the lip. Yeah, cool. So the idea is I want to be able to move the ball, which is my sound source, between the different volumes. Cool. So let's give this some attenuation. I'm going to cheat and just use the override. But again, like I always say, please, for your actual project, sorry, 6,000. For your actual projects, be sure to don't just use an override. Please, okay. And we don't care about this. We can even take this off. We don't care about that. Okay. So now we've got nice spatialization. I can kick the ball into one of these zones. Cool. All right. Minimal control over the ball. All right. So now we've got a spatialized sound source. We can move it around between these two zones. Neat. Then let's make a sound class for our viola sound class, whatever. All I want is to make sure that this sound class has apply ambient volumes selected. There you go. So this is the important bit. Apply ambient volumes has to be selected. Okay. Now, what we can do, let's create a couple of effects submixes. So we'll create a mix sound submix. This will be our red submix. And then Control W to duplicate our green submix. And actually, I probably should have put, let's do submix green. I like these grouping together by name. So submix red. Cool. All right, now as you can guess, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the red submix associated with this red volume and the green submix associated with this green volume. And let's set these up so that they have effects. So let's turn these impulses into actual impulses. Let's right click, go impulse, boom, boom. Okay, now I will do the room impulse associate that with the red submix, and I will associate the green submix with the Quarry impulse because red room. RR is an easy remember thing. So, now we just need some convolution effects. So let's go to our effects. We go submix effects preset. We select the convolution reverb preset. This will be our convolution room. And then we'll do, oops, come on. What? No, hold on. No. There we go. Convolution Quarry. Cool. Double click. The Quarry goes with Quarry. And then the room to room. And then we'll do the green submix. We will add the Quarry effect to the green submix and the room effect to the red submix. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to click on our audio volume in the red zone. And let's actually just call it audio volume red. So now we can name it, something appropriate. It's very easy to identify in our world outliner. And then this one will be audio volume green. This just helps us keep track of everything. So when we have the red audio volume selected, I'm just gonna save real quick. And then we're gonna go to our submixes, and then we're gonna go to the top one, submix send settings. So here's where it gets cool. And just as a context, this is 4.26 Preview 7. So there might be some adjustments, but probably not if you're looking at the full version of 4.26, whenever that comes out. And if you're looking at a previous version of 4.26, then you may need to update it to Preview 7. Okay, so just like our ambient zones, we have sounds inside and outside of the volume. We have listener inside and outside the volume. So when we'll just do listener is outside the volume. When the listener is outside the volume, we will send sounds inside this volume. We'll use the linear that's by distance send system. Post distance attenuation. This is really cool, right? So you can do pre-distance attenuation, so the sound basically at full volume, or post-tense distance attenuation. We'll do that. That's the nice one. And then we're going to send this. This is what we've got. Red selected, so red is our red submix. And then let's go minimum is going to be 0.1. And let's go 3,000. I don't know. That's my round number. Okay, so let's test it out. So what the idea is if the sound source is inside the volume and our listener is outside the volume, then it will send the sound source to this submix according to these rules. And I think yeah. So what's coming in, what's not in here in Preview 7, but will be coming, is a little bit of a fade control, if I remember correctly. But yeah, let's just check it real quick. So let's give our little ball a little kick. That's our room reverb. It's pretty subtle, actually. And then it's outside the volume on the other side. Okay. So, okay, cool. Right. So let's also do it when I'm inside the volume as well, so I can control it. I just kick and forget. Or I could actually, let's bring this wall in real quick. We'll just bring the wall in just a touch. Here we go. So it doesn't get it into the gutters. There we are. And we'll do this one too. Boop. Yeah, something like that. So we'll save it. So if it gets stuck in the corner, it's not the end of the world. All right, let's... well, where was I? Right. So let's also have... Oops. Select my red... Alrighty, set it up. So let's do now if the listener is inside the volume. We will do the same. We'll just do the same thing. So we'll send the audio to the red submix. But this is what's cool is if we're sharing the volume, we might send it to a different submix, you know? Or not send it to a submix at all. All right. All right, so that room is super subtle. We could probably... Let's make the room really obvious real quick here. So I'm just going to bring up the normalization on the room to, like, I don't know, a lot more. That's like 4 times louder, so... See? Yeah, now we got some... Okay, that's cool. All right, so now let's set up the Quarry. Let's turn this back down. I like the subtle one. But, you know, it's not super obvious. Let's go meet in the middle there. Negative 18 is good. Okay. And then let's select our green zone. And we'll add the outside the volume one first. And look at this. This is what's cool. Is the submix sends is an array. So you could have multiple submix sends. So when the sound is inside a volume, you could have it send... And we're inside the volume, you could have it sent to a bunch of different submixes. And then when we're outside the volume and the sound's inside the volume, you can have it sent to a bunch of different submixes. So there's lots of cool options there. Just like the ambient zones, volume priority is taken into effect. So when you nest these volumes within each other, so you can have like one big volume and then a bunch of little volumes, etc. All right, so now we're going to green. And we'll do the same. We'll keep consistent. We'll go 3,000. Whoops, not 30,000. 3,000. And then we'll just add one more for sorry, so it's obvious. One for inside, one for outside. And then it'll be the same. Oh wait, did I do linear? Sorry, this should be linear. Boom. That's the distance-based one. Manual is just a blunt manual amount. And then we always want a little bit. That's why I do that. And then I like spreading it out a little bit farther. But okay, so now if we kick it over to the green one, come on. Boop. Now we've got that nice, dense Quarry reverb. And then I could kick it. And this is what's cool. Now it's the room reverb. I'm in the green one. The room reverb is what you hear on it. And that's what's really neat, is that it's wherever the source is, which volume the source is in. So what that means is you could have all these different sources, just like, whatever's going on in your game, and then you can have where like actual sections of space, if a sound is inside it, it will get its sounds sent to Submix. And so yeah, that I think is super powerful. And what's neat, this is where it can get nuts. All right, so check this out. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let me grab another. Let's make another effect. Let's make a. Let's make a. Where's the stereo delay? Let's make a stereo delay effect. Submix effect. So we'll go. Delay. Main. Okay. And then what we'll do is let's set this up so that. So here I'm going to close this Submix send settings. Now I'm going to add a Submix override setting. So I've selected the green one. So when I am in the green Submix, I want to override the red Submix's effect chain, and I'm going to override it with the stereo delay. All right, and then we'll make the stereo delay like kind of ridiculous. So we'll do like 1,000, so 1 second, and then we'll do like, I don't know, 0.75, and we'll go 0 dry level because it's the send. And I think we'll start there and see how that sounds. So basically what that means is when I am inside the green volume, the Submix on the red volume's effect switches from the convolution room effect to my stereo delay effect, and we'll give it a crossfade time of 1 second. All right, so what we'll do is we'll throw this guy into the red volume. So now we're hearing the room, and if I go in here, it switches over to that stereo delay. Let's make it louder. Where's my stereo delay? Here it is. Yeah, let's make this like 0.8 or something. And the delay ratio is the spread. So I think that's the spread. There, is that right? Those reference channels have different delay. Oh, that's the offset from the. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So throw it in the room. We got the room reverb. Now we switch over to a stereo delay. And then we fade back to the room reverb. And actually, let me make the crossfade time a little bit gentler, so we get that nice. And then let's make the room a little bit louder again, like we had it really obvious. So let's do -12, and then on the stereo delay, let's just go full 100%, and let's make the feedback 0.85, something like that. So 85% feedback. Okay. So now I kick it over. Okay, and then cool, all right? And then we're back to the room reverb. Okay, so those are dramatic examples, but what's very cool about this is that now not only can you dynamically send audio to different submixes, based on where the audio is located, based on where the listener is located. But you can also change the effects on those submixes based on where the listener is located. And so you can do cool things where it's like, you can imagine a situation where, like, you know, a sound source is in one space and your listener is in another space, and so you send, you know, you've got some sort of weird filter, or you're sending it to a submix to do, you know, some cool echo effect or something like that, or you're just changing the spaces as you get closer and closer. You know, there's all sorts of cool things you could do. But yeah, so that's the Submix send settings on AudioVolumes. Very cool addition, and I encourage everyone to check it out.